The dawn sunlight pierced through the cloud cover above the vibrant metropolis, casting golden streams across its avenues, and amid the resonance of rapid footfalls and the purr of premium vehicles, there pulsed a completely different cadence. This was the cadence of a young man's pulse, rapid and intense, as his oil-stained fingers labored endlessly on the weathered motors of automobiles, distant from elegance, distant from luxury, distant from flawlessness. For Miguel, existence had never been lined with inherited privilege or golden guarantees. Rather, it was a pathway riddled with obstacles and shattered aspirations, mended solely by resilience, resolve, and the silent faith that perhaps, just perhaps, someday the world would recognize his value. Yet destiny, erratic and untamed, frequently appears disguised as merriment. And on this specific morning, merriment emerged from an Heiress positioned beside a crimson Ferrari that expelled vapor into the azure heavens. If you have faith in compassion, in fresh opportunities, and in the strength of surprising narratives that transform existence, please like this video, share it with companions, and subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4. Your encouragement enables us to create more emotionally resonant stories. Miguel had served as an apprentice mechanic for nearly 2 years, studying under the mentorship of a garage proprietor who valued swiftness over accuracy, profit over dedication. Nevertheless, Miguel's soul wasn't invested in compromises. It resided in the craft of interpreting an engine's voice, in handling every vehicle as if it contained the aspirations of its owner. During that morning, while his fellow workers bantered and browsed their devices, Miguel knelt beside a damaged van, gently coaxing its exhausted motor back to vitality. He remained unaware that beyond the workshop's entrance, an elegant Ferrari had just struggled into the facility, steam coiling into the daylight, and alongside it stood 2 women. One mature, adorned in crisp designer attire that radiated command, and the other younger, her leather coat and hesitant expression distinguishing her. The elder woman chuckled, her tone slicing through the atmosphere like refined crystal, as her gaze settled on Miguel, the most junior among all mechanics, his palms darkened with grease, his garment ripped at the edge. "Repair my Ferrari and wed my daughter," she declared with amusement. The statement, intended as jest, meant to demonstrate to her audience that realms like his and realms like hers were never destined to intersect. To her, he represented merely a laborer, nothing beyond. To the others in the workshop, it provided amusement, another opportunity to mock the apprentice's circumstances. Yet Miguel interpreted it differently. The mockery settled into his chest like a burden, not because he accepted the proposition seriously, but because it echoed everything society had murmured in his ear since youth, that he was insufficient, that individuals like him belonged in obscurity, that affection and honor were privileges he could never attain. He stood gradually, clearing perspiration from his brow, and approached the Ferrari with a composure that concealed the turmoil within him. The younger woman, standing silently beside her mother, caught his gaze momentarily. For an instant, her defensive demeanor gentled, and something wordless transferred between them. Perhaps an apology, or a spark of understanding that beneath his soiled garments was a man who possessed honor. Miguel lifted the hood, and the hiss of steam enveloped him like a dare. The others in the garage paused to observe, sneering, murmuring, anticipating his failure. The assignment was formidable. This wasn't merely a vehicle. It was an instrument of exactness, a marvel of innovation, one error away from catastrophe. Miguel had never serviced such luxury previously. His hands trembled slightly as he contacted the heated components, and his thoughts tormented him about the dangers. If he failed, their ridicule would only intensify, reverberating into his core. But if he prevailed, perhaps, just perhaps, he could demonstrate that excellence wasn't inherited from prosperity. It was shaped through effort, persistence, and unwavering conviction. The minutes extended into hours. Every fastener, every cable, every modification was an examination of patience and expertise. Perspiration streamed down his face, dropping onto the scarlet finish as he secured connections, mended ruptures, and listened with an artist's precision to the engine sound surrounding him. The garage's commotion dissolved into quietude, as if even the skeptics couldn't dismiss the fervor of his commitment. The elder woman initially laughed, her voice boisterous and contemptuous. But as the minutes progressed, her laughter wavered, gradually surrendering to silence, then intrigue. Her daughter never averted her attention from Miguel, observing the rhythm of his movements, the steadiness of his focus, as though for the first time she witnessed strength not in wealth, but in modesty. When Miguel finally engaged the ignition, the Ferrari thundered, not in fury, but in vitality, a powerful resonance vibrating through the structure. The vapor dissipated, replaced by the gentle rumble of an engine reborn. For a moment, nobody stirred. Then the garage exploded, not in celebration, but in astonished silence that held more significance than applause ever could. Miguel breathed deeply, his chest expanding and contracting like a warrior who had just confronted a battle against impossibility and emerged triumphant. The elder woman's expression wavered, her arrogance disturbed, though pride still enveloped her like armor. She remained speechless. She didn't laugh again. Instead, it was her daughter who advanced, her eyes shimmering not with tears of sympathy, but with admiration. In that instant, Miguel discovered something profound. The challenge had never truly concerned the automobile, nor the harsh jest about matrimony. It had been about proving to himself that value isn't determined by the clothing you wear or the vehicle you operate. Value is measured by the bravery to stand proud when the world desires you to surrender. From that day onward, the tale of Miguel and the Heiress's Ferrari journeyed far beyond the boundaries of that workshop. People recounted the story of the apprentice mechanic who transformed mockery into reverence, who restored not merely an engine, but the perspectives of everyone who observed it. And as days transformed into weeks, the connection between Miguel and the younger woman developed quietly, tenderly. She frequented the shop regularly, not because her Ferrari required maintenance, but because her soul did. And Miguel, in his modesty, never pursued wealth or vengeance. He simply offered her what he always provided to every engine he serviced: attention, patience, and an affection that looked beyond surface appearances. If this narrative moved your soul, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to Untold Stories 0.4. Stories such as these remind us that kindness and determination can unite worlds apart, and your support enables us to deliver more hope into existence. Before we conclude, I want to ask you, what would you have done if you were in Miguel's position that day? Share your reflections in the comments below. Your words might inspire someone who requires courage at this moment. As the sun descended on the city that evening, its golden beams spreading across both the humble garage and the soaring glass structures beyond, Miguel closed his eyes and smiled. For the first time, the laughter that once attempted to destroy him had become the sound of his victory. Evidence that even in a world separated by wealth, the human spirit still recognized how to identify true value. Sometimes existence challenges us in ways we never anticipate. Miguel never requested riches, never desired to be the focus of attention, and never envisioned that one moment could alter how the world perceived him. He only wished to perform his work with integrity, to provide every car, regardless of size or cost, the same care and devotion. But destiny brought him face to face with a challenge designed to shame him. And instead, it unveiled the quiet strength he harbored within. What makes Miguel's narrative powerful is not simply that he repaired the Ferrari. It's that he repaired it while everyone surrounding him doubted him, while laughter resonated in his ears, while society declared he was inadequate. That is the true engine of courage. The capacity to continue advancing when the world attempts to halt you. And then there is the daughter, who looked beyond the grease stains and calloused hands to perceive something genuine. Her heart recognized what money can never purchase: integrity, humility, and perseverance. Sometimes the people who appear most distant from us are the very ones who teach us what authentic worth resembles. This story is not about automobiles or wealth or even position. It is about dignity.